The Pomp, American Crew's version of the classic pompadour style, is ideal for hair of medium density and length, especially at the front hairline.
So we're working on the pompadour. It's going to be very classic, very lean, very buttoned up around the edges with disconnected length in the front, which we will then groom.
Start the haircut by separating the top from the bottom with a high horseshoe parting at the top of the recession. Establish the basic head shape by using a clipper over comb cutting action and vertical panels. Use a large clipper comb and a one blade. Cut to a length so the hair can push slightly when you comb through it. Place the large clipper comb at the hairline. The angle of the comb should mimic the desired shape. The teeth of the comb should point directly up to the ceiling or slightly toward you. This will create a square or slightly graduated result. Swiftly move the clipper across the comb. Start on the same side as your dominant cutting hand so that you are cutting from your guide into uncut hair. At the center back of the head, you will notice a change in the application of the comb to the head. In order to maintain the same shape with an expanded form, pivot the comb from a slightly graduated shape under the occipital to a square shape above the occipital. As the head rounds toward the top, keep the comb and clipper suspended off of the head. The length and weight above the occipital is very important. The clipper and comb should move straight up as you cut. Around the ear, place the comb tightly at the hairline and pull the teeth slightly away from the head. Make sure that the clipper and comb are suspended off of the head as you reach the top of the panel. This will result in the desired length and weight above the widest part of the head. As you complete the bottom half, look at the weight at the top of the panel and make sure it rests evenly around the head from side to side.
I'm now moving into transition, and I'm using disconnects through the sides to preserve the front length for the pompadour.
Lightly mist the hair to an even saturation level and prepare for transition with a T-part. Use horizontal sections in the transition area for moderate length and weight at the transition and top of the head. Horizontal sections leave a greater degree of bulk, filling in the head shape as the head rounds to the top. Connect to the guide under the horseshoe parting at the back of the ear. At the front, disconnect to great length. Elevate straight out from the head for a traditional subtle weight buildup. Use a disconnected horizontal transition and extend the cutting line away from the head as you near the face. This is referred to as visual blend. Pull each section straight out and cut to this new guide until you reach the center top. Divide the crown area into 3 sections. Within these sections, create horizontal subsections. Fully connect to your guides, both on the lower half of the head and the transition just cut on the side. Pull each section straight out, parallel to the floor. Keep the tension low but controlled. Too much tension will cause the resulting shape to round with the head. Horizontal transitions are used to maintain weight in the transition zone. Clean, consistent combing and sectioning will set you up for an ideal final outcome. Work up the head using basic sections that are easy to control until you reach the T-parting above the crown. Once you reach the top of the head, use a shear and flat cutting for greater density. The all-purpose cutting comb is selected for most shear work. This comb is the workhorse tool for all primary shape shear cuts. Primary shape refers to the silhouette. It includes all elements of clipper cutting, tapering, and flat shear cutting with basic sections. In general, we choose to use a disconnected horizontal transition, so the length falls long to the front but maintains a lean and fitted shape behind the ear. An over-directed transition leaves maximum length in the front but would offer too much length and weight behind the ear. The distance away from the front of the head determines the length. The pomp needs exaggerated length at the front. If less length is desired, simply connect behind the ear and cut to a shorter length toward the front. The degree of disconnection can range from minimal to great. The distance away from the front hairline is how you change that length. The length in the front is too long at this time to style into the final Pomp finish options. Therefore, some length will be removed on top and secondary cutting actions will be placed in order to assist the hair to elevate. Then the use of American Crew Firm Hold Gel will offer the maximum hold required to allow this length of hair to defy gravity. Using side-to-side sections across the top of the head, connect by cutting off the corner at the center of the head. Cut shorter for the illusion of wider sides and a greater visual texture. Cut longer for narrower sides and less visual texture. For the Pomp, cut long by cutting only at the center top and over-direct to the previous for added length at the front hairline.
So we've completed the transition in top for the pompadour. Getting ready to do detail and finish, where I'm going to refine the perimeter and add a bit of support in the front hairline.
The first finish for the hairline of the Pomp is a classic taper. Using a large clipper comb and a one blade, blend from scalp-covered interior to a perfect tailored fit with no length that terminates at the hairline. A key concept in clipper cutting is cutting against the grain. Adapt your cutting action and the placement of your panels to accommodate growth direction, which can be vertical or even diagonal in isolated areas. Combine the cutting actions of the clipper to create the taper. Cut over comb and use fanning to set in the final shape. The taper should move quickly from the hairline to the interior. Remain low and close to the hairline. Refine the area near the ear and at the sideburn with a triple-aught blade. With a razor, slide cut the hair in isolated areas in the location of support, from 1 to 3 inches off the scalp. The razor should be tilted slightly beyond parallel to hair. For a polished, high-hold finish with memory, use a high dosage of American Crew Firm Hold Gel as the base product. Begin shaping and elevating the style with your hands as you rough dry the hair. Establish the design objective, using the high tension from a board bristle brush to lift hair up at the front hairline and then bend back. To boost shine, apply a low dosage of American Crew pomade all over the surface. Use a paddle brush to lift up at the front and back on the sides. Here is the completed version of Finish Option 1 of the Pomp.